Life has a way of reminding us that change is the only constant. Many people resist change because it feels uncomfortable, uncertain, and unpredictable, yet it is within these very moments of transition that our greatest opportunities are hidden. To make the rest of your life the best of your life, the very first step is to embrace change and understand that your new beginning starts now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions seem perfect, but in this very moment. Too often, we wait for the right time to start over, to improve ourselves, or to chase dreams we've carried in our hearts for years. But the truth is, waiting for the perfect time only keeps us stuck in the same cycle. The perfect time is an illusion. It never truly arrives. What you have is the present moment, and it is powerful enough to shift the entire trajectory of your life if you decide to seize it. Embracing change means acknowledging that where you are right now does not define the rest of your journey. Your past does not hold the authority to dictate your future unless you surrender that power to it. Many people live as prisoners of yesterday's mistakes, regrets, or even past successes. They become trapped by what used to be, forgetting that life is about constant growth and reinvention. Every sunrise gives you permission to let go of what was and step into what can be. Think about it. Every great transformation begins with the decision to no longer remain the same. Change is rarely comfortable, but comfort has never been the birthplace of greatness. If you want the rest of your life to be extraordinary, you must be willing to release the old version of yourself and embrace the unknown with courage. Fear often shows up when change knocks on the door. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. These emotions can feel paralyzing, but fear is not a stop sign, it's an invitation to grow. Whenever fear appears, it's a signal that you're standing at the edge of your comfort zone, about to step into new territory. Instead of running from it, lean into it. Ask yourself, what is this fear trying to teach me? What strength is it pushing me to develop? The most successful and fulfilled individuals are not those who avoided fear, but those who faced it, walked through it, and discovered their truest selves on the other side. Change is the arena where courage is tested, and your willingness to embrace it determines how far you will go in life. Every new beginning starts with a shift in perspective. If you see change as a threat, you will shrink back and miss out on opportunities. But if you see it as a gift, as a chance to rewrite your story, you will welcome it with open arms. Your perspective shapes your reality. For example, losing a job can feel devastating, but it can also be the push that propels you toward building your own business or discovering a career path that aligns with your true passion. A broken relationship may cause heartbreak, but it might also be the doorway to rediscovering your worth and creating space for a healthier love. Life is always presenting you with crossroads, and your ability to embrace change determines whether you evolve or remain stuck. It's also important to remember that embracing change doesn't mean having everything figured out from the start. You don't need to see the entire staircase before you take the first step. You only need to trust that the step in front of you will lead to the next. Many times, clarity comes not before the journey, but during the journey. Action creates momentum, and momentum reveals possibilities you couldn't have imagined while standing still. By daring to take small steps toward a new beginning, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. Each step builds confidence, and confidence makes change feel less like a threat and more like an exciting adventure. Another vital part of embracing change is letting go of control. Life rarely unfolds exactly the way we plan. Unexpected twists and turns will always come, but resisting them only creates frustration and stress. When you surrender to the flow of life and trust that every change carries a lesson or blessing, you begin to live with peace. This doesn't mean being passive or careless about your goals, but it means staying flexible and adaptable. Think of a river. It flows freely, finding its way around rocks and obstacles, never stopping, always moving forward. In the same way, when you stop resisting change, you give yourself permission to move forward, no matter what challenges come your way. To make the rest of your life the best of your life, you must also be intentional about the changes you embrace. Not all change is automatic improvement. It must be directed by purpose. Reflect on what truly matters to you. What kind of life do you want to build? What habits, relationships, and environments align with that vision? Sometimes embracing change means releasing toxic influences, ending unhealthy cycles, or stepping away from things that drain your spirit. At other times, it means adopting new habits, cultivating discipline, and daring to pursue opportunities that stretch you. Every choice you make is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life, and the more intentional you are, the more beautiful the picture becomes. Ultimately, embracing change is about reclaiming your power. It is about realizing that you are not defined by where you have been, but by where you choose to go next. The past is a chapter, not the whole book. Your future is still unwritten, and you hold the pen. Every moment you delay is a moment wasted, but every moment you embrace with courage is a seed planted for a brighter tomorrow. Right now, you have the chance to decide that your life is not over, that your best days are not behind you, but ahead of you. All it takes is the decision to begin again, to embrace the unknown, and to believe that you are capable of creating something greater. This is your new beginning. No matter your age, your struggles, or your past mistakes, you have the power to reinvent yourself. The rest of your life can be the best of your life, but only if you are willing to welcome change, step out of your comfort zone, and move forward with faith. Change is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally in transformation. Embrace it today and watch your life unfold in ways more beautiful and powerful than you ever imagined. One of the greatest barriers to living your best life is the weight of the past. Far too many people carry yesterday into today, allowing regrets, mistakes, and old disappointments to shape their decisions and dictate their self-worth. If you want the rest of your life to be the best of your life, you must break free from the past and give yourself permission to redefine your future. The truth is, your past is a chapter, not the entire book, and it does not have the authority to write the next pages unless you hand over the pen. Every single day is an invitation to begin again, to choose differently, and to believe that what's ahead of you is greater than what's behind you. When you live in the shadow of the past, you limit yourself. Regret whispers that you missed your chance, that you've wasted too much time, or that it's too late to start over. Failure echoes in your mind, convincing you that because something didn't work out before, it will never work out again. But the reality is that the past is not a prison, it's a teacher. Every mistake you've made has given you wisdom, every failure has built resilience, and every heartbreak has shaped your capacity for growth. Instead of dragging those experiences like heavy chains, see them as stepping stones that prepared you for the person you are becoming. You cannot rewrite the beginning of your story, but you can decide right now how the ending will look. Breaking free from the past requires forgiveness, both of yourself and of others. Many people stay stuck because they cannot forgive themselves for poor decisions or lost opportunities. They replay the same moments in their minds, punishing themselves over and over again for something that cannot be undone. But holding on to guilt does not change the past, it only robs you of the present. You must decide that you are worthy of moving forward, that your value is not diminished by mistakes, and that your life is still full of possibility. Forgiving yourself is an act of freedom, It allows you to release the weight you've been carrying and run toward the future without chains around your ankles. Forgiveness of others is just as essential. Holding on to resentment or anger ties you emotionally to the very pain you're trying to escape. You don't forgive people because they deserve it. You forgive because you deserve peace. You free yourself from being defined by what others did to you. Carrying bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It only harms you. When you let go, you make space for healing and growth. Your future cannot fully open to you if your heart is still chained to past wounds. To break free, you must also release the identity that has been shaped by your past. Sometimes we cling to old labels or stories we've told ourselves for years. I'm not good enough. I always fail. I'm not the type of person who succeeds. These beliefs may have been formed from past experiences, but they do not have to define you now. You are not your mistakes, your setbacks, or the negative words spoken over you. You are capable of rewriting your story by choosing new beliefs that align with the future you want to create. The moment you change the way you see yourself, your actions and results will follow. Redefining your future also requires vision. Once you release the grip of the past, you need something greater to move toward. Ask yourself, what do I want my life to look like from this moment forward? What values do I want to live by? What dreams do I want to pursue? It doesn't matter how old you are or what has already happened. Life gives you endless opportunities to reinvent yourself. History is filled with people who achieved greatness later in life precisely because they didn't let the past dictate their potential. The power of vision lies in giving you direction, hope, and purpose. Without it, you'll drift back into old patterns. With it, you'll have a guiding star that pulls you forward. Breaking free from the past is not always easy. Old memories will try to resurface, and fear of repeating mistakes may creep in. But freedom is not about erasing your past. It's about reframing it. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Start asking, what did this teach me? How can I use it to grow? When you shift your perspective, even the darkest chapters can become sources of strength and wisdom. What once felt like a burden can become the very fuel that propels you toward your future. Taking practical steps can also help you move forward. Start by surrounding yourself with people who uplift you and believe in your potential, rather than those who constantly remind you of who you used to be. Create new habits and routines that reinforce your commitment to change. Set small, achievable goals that build momentum and prove to yourself that you are not defined by what you once were. Every small victory becomes evidence that your past does not control you anymore. The most powerful decision you can make is to stop looking back and start moving forward. Think of driving a car. The windshield is far larger than the rear-view mirror for a reason. Where you're going matters so much more than where you've been. Glance at the past only long enough to learn from it, but keep your focus on the road ahead. If you spend too much time staring in the rear-view mirror, you'll miss the opportunities right in front of you. The beauty of life is that reinvention is always possible. No matter how many times you've stumbled, you can rise again. No matter how many seasons you've lost, you can begin a new one today. Your past may have shaped you, but it doesn't have to limit you. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago, 5 months ago, or even 5 minutes ago. At any moment, you can make a new choice, and that choice can change the rest of your life. Breaking free from the past and redefining your future is about claiming your power, rewriting your story, and daring to believe that your best days are not behind you, but ahead of you. It is about choosing freedom over regret, hope over despair, and vision over limitation. When you stop letting yesterday dictate today, you open yourself up to the limitless possibilities of tomorrow. And that's when the rest of your life truly becomes the best of your life. Passion and purpose are the fuel that turn an ordinary existence into an extraordinary life. Without them, days can feel repetitive, drained of meaning and lacking true fulfillment. To make the rest of your life the best of your life, you must learn to fuel your journey with purpose and passion, because they are the forces that give you the energy to keep moving forward, even when challenges arise. Purpose answers the question of why you are here, while passion ignites the fire within you to pursue that calling with enthusiasm and persistence. When these two come together, they create a powerful combination that transforms not only your own life, but also the lives of those around you. Many people go through life on autopilot, doing what they think they are supposed to do rather than what they are truly meant to do. They chase careers, relationships, or achievements that look good on the outside, but leave them empty on the inside. The problem is not lack of effort, but lack of alignment. When your actions are not aligned with your purpose, no amount of success will feel satisfying. True fulfillment comes from knowing that your life matters, that your contributions make a difference, and that you are living authentically. Purpose gives your life direction. It is the compass that guides your decisions, the anchor that holds you steady in storms, and the spark that lights the way forward when everything feels dark. Finding purpose doesn't always happen in one grand revelation. For many, it is discovered step by step, through experiences, reflections, and even mistakes. It is revealed in the things that deeply move you, the problems you feel called to solve, or the unique talents you possess that can serve others. Sometimes your purpose comes out of your greatest pain, because the struggles you overcome often equip you to help others facing similar battles. Instead of asking, "What do I want to do with my life?" ask, "How can my life serve? What contribution can I make that will outlast me?" That is where true purpose is found. Passion is equally important. Purpose gives you direction, but passion provides the fuel to move in that direction. Without passion, life becomes a series of obligations rather than opportunities. Passion is what makes you wake up excited, what keeps you going late into the night when others would quit, and what gives you joy in the journey, not just the destination. It is the energy that turns challenges into adventures and work into meaningful play. Passion cannot be faked. It is felt. And when you live passionately, it becomes contagious, inspiring others to rise higher too. It's important to understand that passion isn't just about hobbies or fleeting interests. It is about what brings you alive. It can be found in art, teaching, leading, serving, building, or creating. It doesn't matter what the form is. What matters is that it energizes you and adds value to others. Some people say they don't know what their passion is, but often it's because they haven't given themselves permission to explore. You discover passion by trying, by stepping into new experiences, and by paying attention to what stirs your heart. When you find that thing that makes time disappear, that thing you would do even if you weren't paid for it, that is a clue to your passion. Purpose and passion together create resilience. Life will always have obstacles, and dreams will always face setbacks. If your journey is fueled only by obligation or external rewards, it will be easy to quit when difficulties arise. But when you are driven by a deep sense of purpose and passion, you develop persistence that cannot be shaken. Challenges become stepping stones, not roadblocks. Failures become lessons, not endings. The energy within you becomes greater than the resistance outside of you. That is why some people achieve what others think is impossible, because they are fueled by something stronger than fear, doubt, or temporary defeat. Living with purpose and passion also means living with authenticity. Too many people suppress their true selves to fit in or please others, but in doing so, they sacrifice the very passion that makes life meaningful. The world doesn't need a copy of someone else. It needs you. Your voice, your gifts, your perspective, your fire. When you dare to live passionately and purposefully, you give others permission to do the same. You become an example of what's possible when someone chooses to live fully alive. Practical steps can help you align your life with purpose and passion. Start by asking yourself, what are my strengths? What problems do I feel called to solve? What activities make me feel alive? Write them down and look for patterns. Next, begin to take small steps toward incorporating those things into your daily life. You don't have to quit everything and start over to live with purpose and passion. You can begin right where you are. Add passion to your work by focusing on how it serves others. Add purpose to your routines by connecting them to a bigger goal. Over time, as you follow the threads of purpose and passion, your path becomes clearer and your energy stronger. One of the greatest rewards of fueling your journey with purpose and passion is the legacy you leave. Money, titles, and possessions fade, but the impact you make by living authentically will ripple through generations. People may forget what you said or did, but they will never forget how you made them feel, and passion combined with purpose always leaves people inspired, empowered, and uplifted. The truth is, you were not born to simply exist. You were born to contribute, to shine, to create, and to live a life that matters. The rest of your life can be the best of your life if you choose to stop drifting and start living with intention. Purpose gives you your why. Passion gives you your how. Together, they make the journey not just bearable, but beautiful. They make the struggles meaningful, the victories sweeter, and the legacy unforgettable. When you decide to fuel your life with purpose and passion, you are no longer just surviving. You are thriving, and that is when you truly make the rest of your life the best of your life. The people you surround yourself with play a critical role in shaping the quality of your life. Every relationship you keep is either pushing you closer to your goals or pulling you further away. If you want to make the rest of your life the best of your life, you must surround yourself with growth-minded people, those who challenge you to think bigger, who inspire you to reach higher, and who encourage you to become the best version of yourself. No one succeeds in isolation. Your environment has power over your mindset, your actions, and ultimately your destiny, which is why choosing the right company is one of the most important decisions you will ever make. Look around at the people closest to you. Are they encouraging your growth, or are they draining your energy? Are they planting seeds of possibility, or are they feeding you doubt and negativity? It has often been said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and there is truth in that statement. Your circle influences your habits, your outlook on life, and even the standards you hold for yourself. If you are constantly surrounded by individuals who settle for less, complain about circumstances, or resist change, you will find yourself slipping into the same pattern. On the other hand, when you spend time with those who are disciplined, driven, and focused on growth, you naturally begin to rise to that level. Energy is contagious, and the energy you allow into your life determines the direction you move. Surrounding yourself with growth-minded people doesn't mean looking for perfect individuals. No one is without flaws. What it means is choosing to connect with people who are committed to progress, people who refuse to remain stagnant, and people who see challenges as opportunities instead of obstacles. These are individuals who won't let you settle for mediocrity, who will call you out when you're making excuses, and who will celebrate your wins without jealousy. They don't just talk about dreams, they take action. They don't just hope for a better future, they create it. And when you are in their presence, you can't help but feel inspired to step into that same mindset. The opposite is also true. Toxic or negative people can sabotage your growth without you even realizing it. They may constantly criticize, discourage, or distract you. They might downplay your goals or remind you of your past failures. Sometimes they do it intentionally out of envy, and sometimes they do it unconsciously because they are trapped in their own limitations. But if you allow their voices to drown out your own inner drive, you will begin to shrink your vision to match their expectations. Protecting your energy means setting boundaries, limiting time with those who don't support your growth, and being intentional about who you allow into your inner circle. You don't need to cut everyone off, but you must be wise enough to know who belongs in the front row of your life and who belongs in the balcony. Finding growth-minded people requires effort and humility. You must be willing to step into new environments, join communities, attend events, and seek mentors who are further along in the journey than you are. It may feel intimidating to be around people who are achieving at a higher level, but that's exactly the kind of environment you need. Growth comes when you are stretched, not when you are comfortable. Being the smartest person in the room may feel good for the ego, but it does little for your growth. Instead, put yourself in rooms where you are challenged to expand your thinking, where you are pushed beyond your current limits, and where you are inspired by what's possible. A growth-minded circle is not only about career or success, it's about character. You need people who not only inspire you to chase your dreams, but also to live with integrity, kindness, and resilience. People who will remind you of your values when the world tempts you to compromise. People who lift you when you fall, who remind you of your strength when you forget, and who walk with you through the storms of life. Relationships like these are priceless, and they often shape the trajectory of your life far more than opportunities or circumstances. Equally important is being a growth-minded person for others. It's not just about finding the right circle, it's also about contributing to it. Ask yourself, what kind of energy am I bringing into my relationships? Am I encouraging others, challenging them, and helping them grow, or am I dragging them down with negativity or fear? The more you focus on becoming the kind of person who uplifts and inspires, the more naturally you will attract people with the same mindset. Like attracts like, and the energy you give out will determine the kind of relationships you draw in. Another important truth is that growth often requires outgrowing certain people. This can be one of the hardest parts of personal development, realizing that some friendships, habits, or circles are not aligned with where you are going. It doesn't mean you stop loving or caring for those people. It means you stop allowing their influence to limit your future. Growth requires making difficult choices, and sometimes that means letting go of relationships that keep you tied to an old version of yourself. By doing so, you create space for new relationships that align with the person you are becoming. When you surround yourself with growth-minded people, something powerful happens. Your belief system expands. You begin to see possibilities you couldn't see before. You gain confidence from their encouragement, wisdom from their experiences, and strength from their support. Success feels more attainable because you're no longer walking the journey alone. You're walking with people who are headed in the same direction, each of you pushing one another toward greatness. Ultimately, life is too short to spend in the company of people who don't inspire you to grow. If you want to make the rest of your life the best of your life, you must be intentional about your circle. Choose people who believe in your dreams, who push you to rise higher, and who celebrate your progress. Choose people who remind you of your worth when you forget, and who refuse to let you settle for less than your potential. And as you choose them, choose also to be that kind of person for others. Because when you surround yourself with growth-minded people, you create an environment where greatness is not just possible, it becomes inevitable. Life is not a straight line of victories, it is a series of peaks and valleys, moments of triumph and seasons of trial. Everyone, no matter how successful, experiences setbacks. Dreams get delayed, plans fall apart, relationships break, opportunities slip away, and sometimes life delivers blows that feel almost unbearable. But within every setback lies a seed of potential, a chance for something greater. To make the rest of your life the best of your life, you must learn how to turn setbacks into setups for a greater comeback. What seems like an ending can actually be the beginning of a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of you. When you encounter failure or disappointment, the natural reaction is to feel defeated. You question your abilities, your decisions, and sometimes even your worth. The pain of a setback can feel overwhelming, and if you allow it, it can paralyze you from moving forward. But setbacks are not evidence that you are incapable. They are proof that you are in the arena, that you are daring to try, that you are reaching for something beyond your comfort zone. No one who has ever achieved anything worthwhile did so without stumbling along the way. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of success. Every setback carries within it the lessons and insights necessary for your eventual breakthrough. The key is how you choose to respond. Some people let setbacks define them, allowing one failure to convince them they are failures. Others use setbacks as fuel, as a reminder to push harder, to adjust their strategy, and to rise stronger. Your response determines your future. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" shift the question to, "What is this trying to teach me? How can I grow from this?" That simple change in perspective turns obstacles into opportunities. Every challenge becomes a classroom, every mistake a mentor, and every loss a foundation on which to build something greater. History is filled with examples of individuals who transformed setbacks into comebacks. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, but he never saw those failures as wasted efforts. He saw them as steps toward success. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television, yet she went on to become one of the most influential voices in media. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, yet instead of being broken, he emerged as a leader who helped reshape a nation. These stories remind us that setbacks are not dead ends, but detours that prepare us for destinations we could not have reached otherwise. Setbacks also build resilience, and resilience is one of the most powerful qualities you can develop. Resilience is the ability to keep going when things get hard, to stand back up after being knocked down, and to maintain hope even when circumstances seem hopeless. Without challenges, you would never develop the strength needed to carry the weight of your destiny. A tree that never faces wind grows weak, but one that endures storms grows deep roots. Similarly, every setback you face is strengthening your roots, deepening your character, and preparing you for the heights ahead. Turning setbacks into setups requires you to embrace patience and persistence. Progress is rarely immediate. Sometimes the greatest comebacks take time to unfold. It can be discouraging when you don't see results right away, but persistence is what separates those who give up from those who achieve greatness. Setbacks test your commitment. They ask, how badly do you want this? Are you willing to keep going when it's hard? If your answer is yes, then every setback becomes part of your preparation. Each delay, each detour, and each disappointment is refining you, teaching you resilience and sharpening your vision. Another important aspect is learning to reframe failure. Society often treats failure as shameful, as something to avoid at all costs. But in reality, failure is feedback. It shows you what doesn't work so you can find what does. The most innovative minds in history were not afraid of failing. They were afraid of never trying. If you want to experience a greater comeback, you must be willing to fail forward, using every mistake as a stepping stone toward mastery. Failure only defeats you if you stop trying. As long as you keep moving, failure is simply progress in disguise. It's also vital to lean on faith and hope during setbacks. When everything around you seems to be falling apart, hold on to the belief that something better is being prepared for you. Sometimes a closed door is protection, steering you away from something not meant for you and guiding you towards something greater. Trust that your journey has purpose, even when you can't see the bigger picture. Hope gives you the strength to endure the present, knowing that the future still holds possibility. In addition, surround yourself with voices that uplift and encourage you during setbacks. Isolation magnifies pain, but community provides strength. Share your struggles with trusted friends or mentors who can remind you of your potential when you forget it yourself. A strong support system can give you perspective, motivation, and even practical advice that helps you rise again. No comeback is achieved alone. It is always fueled by the encouragement and belief of others along the way. Finally, remember that your comeback is not just about you. When you rise from setbacks, you become a source of inspiration to others. Your story of resilience becomes proof that failure is not the end. Someone else who is struggling will look at your life and find the courage to keep going. Your comeback can become the reason someone else believes in their own. That is the beauty of setbacks. They not only shape you, but also equip you to impact others. The rest of your life can truly be the best of your life if you stop seeing setbacks as defeats and start seeing them as setups. Every disappointment is a seed for a greater victory. Every failure is shaping you for success. Every closed door is making way for a better one to open. Your story is not over, and your best chapters have not yet been written. A setback is not the end. It is the setup for the comeback that will define you. Rise, learn, persevere, and trust that what is ahead will far outweigh what you've lost. The power of your comeback lies in your hands, and when you choose to embrace it, nothing can stop you from making the rest of your life the best of your life. Success is rarely the result of one big leap. It is the accumulation of consistent daily progress. Too often people imagine their dream life as something that will arrive suddenly, like winning a lottery ticket or stumbling upon a lucky break. But the truth is, the best life is built brick by brick, day by day, through small actions that compound over time. If you want the rest of your life to be the best of your life, you must commit to daily progress. You must choose discipline over excuses, growth over stagnation, and persistence over temporary comfort. Greatness is not a single event. It is a lifestyle of steady improvement. Daily progress begins with the recognition that each day is a gift and an opportunity. Every morning you wake up, you are given another chance to move closer to your goals, to develop your character, and to shape the life you desire. The mistake many people make is underestimating the power of a single day. They either waste it by saying, "I'll start tomorrow," or they pressure themselves into thinking they must achieve everything at once. But life changes not through occasional massive efforts, but through consistent small steps. Reading 10 pages a day leads to hundreds of books over the years. Exercising for 30 minutes daily leads to strength and health that transforms your future. Saving a small amount regularly builds financial security. The little things done consistently create the big results. Committing to daily progress requires clarity. You must know what matters most to you, or else you'll drift through your days without direction. Begin by defining your vision. What do you truly want for your life? What kind of person do you want to become? Once your vision is clear, break it into smaller goals and daily habits that move you in that direction. Without clarity, it's easy to spend time on distractions that feel urgent but do not contribute to your growth. With clarity, every action you take becomes intentional, every decision a step toward your best life. Discipline is the foundation of daily progress. Motivation can get you started, but it is discipline that keeps you going when the excitement fades. There will be days when you don't feel like showing up, when the temptation to quit feels stronger than the desire to continue. In those moments, discipline is your ally. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. It is sacrificing short-term comfort for long-term fulfillment. The most successful individuals are not necessarily the most talented. They are the most disciplined. They show up daily regardless of how they feel, and the consistency of their effort compounds into extraordinary results. Equally important is the ability to measure progress. What gets measured gets improved. Without tracking your actions, it is easy to overestimate your progress or lose sight of your growth. By reflecting daily or weekly, you can see where you are improving and where you need to adjust. Celebrate the small victories. They may seem insignificant in the moment, but they build momentum. When you acknowledge progress, you fuel your motivation to keep going. Each step forward, no matter how small, is evidence that you are moving toward the life you desire. Commitment to daily progress also means embracing the process, not just the destination. Too many people delay happiness until they achieve their goals, believing they will finally feel fulfilled when they reach a certain milestone. But fulfillment comes not just from arriving, but from becoming. The daily grind, the learning, the discipline, the resilience, is what shapes you into the kind of person capable of sustaining success. Every day you show up, you are not just moving toward your dream. You are transforming into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. Setbacks will inevitably come, even when you are committed to daily progress. There will be days when you miss the mark, when you fall short, or when life interrupts your routine. The key is not perfection, but persistence. Do not let one missed day turn into a missed week or month. Progress is not about never stumbling. It is about getting back up quickly and continuing the journey. The power of daily progress lies in consistency over time, not flawless execution. Another vital part of daily progress is surrounding yourself with accountability. When you share your goals with someone who supports you, you increase your chances of staying committed. Accountability, partners, mentors, or even communities with similar goals can help you stay focused and encourage you when your energy wanes. They remind you of your why when you forget, and they push you to keep going when you are tempted to settle. Small disciplines practiced consistently will eventually create breakthroughs. You may not notice the impact immediately, but over weeks, months, and years, the compound effect becomes undeniable. Think of a drop of water hitting a rock. On its own, it seems insignificant, but over time it carves through stone. In the same way, your daily habits shape your character, your opportunities, and ultimately your destiny. Great achievements are nothing more than the result of ordinary actions repeated faithfully. To truly commit to daily progress, you must also protect your time and energy. Distractions are everywhere, and if you are not intentional, your days will be consumed by things that add no value. Social media, scrolling, endless entertainment, or negative influences can rob you of the progress you could be making. Guard your time as the precious resource it is. Use it to invest in growth, to build habits, and to pursue the life you desire. Every moment wasted is a moment you never get back, but every moment invested compounds into a brighter future. Ultimately, making the rest of your life the best of your life comes down to the decisions you make each day. Every morning, you wake up with two choices: to repeat the same patterns that have kept you stuck, or to take small steps toward becoming the person you are meant to be. The path may not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Progress, no matter how small, creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. The secret to living your best life is not waiting for the perfect opportunity or the perfect moment. It is creating progress every single day with what you have, where you are, and who you are right now. When you commit to daily growth, you ensure that your tomorrow will be greater than your today. And over time, as the days accumulate, you will look back and realize that those small, consistent steps created a life of meaning, achievement, and fulfillment. That is how you turn the rest of your life into the very best of your life.